Okay, I have to make a video about this now because this fandom gets really mushy during the hiatuses. And that's, completely fine. This is a historic LGBT ship kind of show. However, on a day-to-day basis, there's only so much sweet content that I can take. People forget that the emotional core of this show is violence. Or more specifically, the best moments take place during a fight. If they can't talk out their feelings, they witches duel it out. Now, you might notice that the title here says fist fight, and you might be thinking, Jaro, why does it say fist fight when they have magic? That's a good point. But the real point is conflict, spectacle, the explosion of emotions that happens when a character's words fail them. So counting down from least to most anticipated, here are my top 5 picks for fistfights I want to see in the Owl House. Number 5, Luz versus Kikimora. Now I'm pretty sure that Kikimora is the second in command of the Emperor's Coven. At the very least, she's been very powerful for a very long time, and I want to see the extent of Luz's abilities. I want to see the specific advantages glyph-based magic gives her. So far, her ingenuity and her quick thinking have given her an edge in a bunch of her encounters. But I want to see what she could do against a really good opponent. Now I hear you, there's a lot of really skilled opponents in the Owl House. Maybe it would be more interesting for her to fight Amity, like in their first relationship spat, although it hurts me to think about that. Or maybe she should fight Hunter to see if she can hold her ground the same way Amity did. Or maybe an interesting scenario would be like Luz defending Ida from Lilith or something. Although they don't really do that anymore. But Kikimora comes in at my top 5 pick for one simple reason. The squirt deserves to hurt. Coming in at number 4, I would like to see the Blight twins versus the Blight parents. Now, if I had managed to make this video before Season 2 came out, then it would have been Amity versus her parents, but we got that. So, I also want to see the Blight siblings re-examine their allegiances, and maybe in the process, cause their parents to reconsider what they're doing. Alador and Odalia Blight seem to be intent on doing what's best for their kids, their family, no matter who they have to hurt to do it. Furthermore, it seems like they don't really have a choice under the boot of the Emperor. So a fight between them and their kids would represent sort of a pivotal moment. As for who I think would win, obviously the parents are a lot older and they have a lot more experience. Alador has all of his abomatons on his side, so if they were really trying to discipline their kids, they could probably win. However, if they have a moment of realization where they're like, oh my god, my kids are serious about what they believe in, and I don't want to hurt them, that might either break their concentration or convince them to back down. Number 3, King versus the guy who abandoned him. That little dude is going through it. He deserves to punch it out. Of course, I think a more likely direction for the show is that it'll be King and the guy who abandoned him versus some other threat that they can fight together and bond with each other over. But the bottom line is, if that big dude doesn't know how much he hurt King, he should know. Second to the last on this list, number 2, I hope we get to see Willow versus Boscha, or Skara versus Boscha. Now I say Willow versus Boscha because Willow is not the weak girl that she once was. She's not struggling to make abominations, she's thriving on the plant track. So I hope Boscha gets her ego checked and Willow can leave some of her trauma behind. Of course, a fist fight might not be the most delicate way to do that. So there's also the argument for Skara versus Boscha, which would be interesting for the same reason as the Blights versus Blights fight. Skara seems to be a lackey who has some good in her. I don't think she wants to hurt others, I just think she's doing what other people tell her to do. So if she could do what Ty Lee did in Avatar: The Last Airbender and be the person who turns on Boscha when Boscha doesn't expect it, showing that she's a stronger character than she appears to be, that would be very interesting. Honorable mention before I get to the final one, Jacob Hopkins should lose a fight with a garbage disposal. And honorable mention number 2, Luz versus Amity's cooking. And we are finally at my number 1 pick. We have gotta see Hunter versus Bellows. I want to see Hunter lay a geriatric out on the pavement. For legal reasons, I don't endorse violence, but for hypothetical scenario reasons, fight your homophobic parents. Not only would it be cathartic for me to see Bellows get turned into a grease stain on Hunter's fists. It's possible that a fight between the two of them could be a good setting to reveal things about Hunter's true nature, the stuff that we saw on that page in that book. It could be a good opportunity for Belos to like snap and say, you're not supposed to be a person, you're not supposed to have a life, you're supposed to be a vessel that I can possess, if that's even the case. I don't know, something lore heavy. It will also be incredibly satisfying as a symbol of Hunter breaking away from his old toxic mindsets and physically fighting his way to a healthier life. And while this hiatus is going, don't forget about the side characters, don't forget about the cool confrontations that are yet to come. I can and will look at a million more Beta Luz and Beta Amity and a bunch of AUs, but the show is not Lumity. The show is more than Lumity is what I'm saying. So subscribe if you agree. And let me know confrontations that you'd like to see in the comments below. I don't know what the Titan could fight. I mean, he's like super dead, but like I feel like a fight would reveal his capabilities. So like give me some ideas for the next video if you please. See ya!